Well, new project. I have what I think is a leaky head gasket. Um, the engine has been seeping oil since the rebuild, and I've recently noticed that well, the coolant has been disappearing off and on, and I noticed well, back in April, that the coolant has gotten into the oil. I actually ran short of coolant and the engine overheated. So I haven't driven it since. It's actually July 1st now. So the way I'm going to proceed, I think, is I'm going to drain the oil, since it's contaminated. I drain the oil, put fresh oil in, and then I'm going to do a compression test and a leak down test. If I can figure out how to find the top dead center of each cylinder. I only know how to find the top dead center of one cylinder number 1, because that's the timing stuff. Anyway, I'll do the best I can, but yeah, so I'll do those 2 tests, and then I want to see about retorquing the head bolts to see if any of them might be loose. Probably wishful thinking. And then after that, redoing the compression and leak down tests, and then if there's no change, well, I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of options. I don't have the money to take it to a real mechanic and have it done properly. So my options are do nothing, which I have been doing since April, or tackle it myself, which may make it better or worse. But, if I don't try, I fail by default. So people say that this is a great engine to learn how to replace a head gasket on, because it's relatively simple compared to more complex cars and engines. So at least I got that going for me. Okay, I just got done doing a dry compression test on all 4 cylinders. And this is what I got. I got 130, 140, 147, 145. I feel like that one's a bit low, but I was hoping for something over 90, so, so no wonder the car's running. Plenty of compression. But anyway, I've got these marked out. It was really hard to figure this out. There's no information about, they tell you the firing order in both my shop manuals, but they don't tell you where on the distributor each wire goes, and they don't tell you which cylinder is number 1. I was thinking it was over here, left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4, but it turns out it's 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the front of the engine, and it's closest to the timing stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how it goes. So fortunately, some folks on the Facebook group gave me some helpful tips and pointers. I did find out how to find top dead center of each cylinder, and that is you find top dead center of cylinder 1, you turn the engine or the gear up here 180 degrees, and then you have top dead center on number 3, and then number 4, 180 degrees number 4, 180 degrees number 2, because firing order, in the firing order. So every 180 degrees of this, and there's markings that will show you, although I don't know how easy that's going to be able to see, because the AC compressor is like right smack in the way of everything on the one side, and on the other side is the valve cover. So I'm going to try and do the leak down test next. I have never done that before, so we'll see how that goes. And if you think I'm talking funny, it's because one of my crowns fell out. And it is really weird speaking with a big old tooth missing from the front of my face. So, yeah. Anyway. So there we go. Okay, I got into some stuff here. First off, look at how gorgeous my carburetor is from 3 years ago. It's nice. There's a little bit of oxidation on the periphery, but that red oxide seems to be holding up on the parts I painted with it. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with that. Got the speedometer cable and the accelerator cables out of the way, and of course obviously the air cleaner. Yeah, so I finally was able to get the cover off of the timing. And I did discover some nice creative repairs. Let me see if I can get out in the sunlight where you can see. Isn't that nice? The bolt brackets broke off ages ago, and someone used a bunch of safety wire to hold this in place. Seems legit. Another thing I noticed, in order to get the timing cover off, you have to pull the valve cover off. Because this protrusion right here fits inside this sort of lip right here. There's no way to get that off without pulling the valve cover off first. So that's another interesting thing. Let's see, what else? I got this guy off and out of the way. I thought I might pull this giant cast iron bracket out, but I can get that bolt loose there. This one is absolutely stuck. Unless I start using heat or something. I don't want to mess with that. So I did manage to get the engine to turn anyway. So this, I'm sure, is an aftermarket camshaft wheel, or whatever you call it. It's lovely and new. It has two marks, two lines right there and right there. Oh, I don't know if those are visible on the camera, but so those need to be level, not with the ground, but with the surface of the top of the head. Now, when those are straight like that, number 1 and number 4, the pistons are all the way up. However, only one of them is doing its compression stroke. And I can't for the life of me see a mark anywhere that tells you that you're at the top of number 1 for the compression stroke. In the manual, there's supposed to be something on that side, but I can't see anything. Oops, and I just turned my light out. So of course now I definitely can't see anything. Wait a minute. There's a little notch right there. Ooh. Let me plug my light back in. Ah, tangled up. Okay, right there, there's a little notch. Number 1. So we are at top dead center. Another way to find out is the intake valve is loose. The exhaust valve is loose. Yes, it's loose. Don't make a liar out of me, exhaust valve. And the auxiliary, of course, is loose. So, whereas on number 4, the exhaust is not loose because it is just finishing up its exhaust cycle, right? And then the intake is not loose. All three, the important thing is all 3 of these valves, these rocker arms rather, are loose. And that's how you know you're at, oops, I shouldn't talk with my hands when I'm holding the camera. Okay, now I can hold the camera with my other hand. So that's how you know, this is what I'm trying to do while holding the camera, but that's how you know that you're at top dead center on number 1. Now, keep in mind, I am no expert and I'm not a mechanic, and this is the first time I've done this, so I'm only telling you what I think I know. I'm not telling you this is the way it is necessarily. I'm just telling you what I think I know. I think I'm right, but you know, this is not a how-to video. This is just a this is what I've done video, and we'll see if any of it works. So now we're ready to do a compression test on number 1. So we'll do number 1 and then we'll work on finding number 3. Okay, I'm having a bit of a learning curve here, but according to the directions, we got top dead center. We have the adapter hose in the spark plug hole. Then what we do is we connect this guy to the air compressor with a pressure of between 45 and 100 psi without connecting it to the engine yet. And then what we do is we adjust this regulator until this needle goes up and around to 0 in the where it says set, and then we lock it down. Then we connect it to the engine. But here's the thing. When I connected it to the engine, the pressure in the hose was enough to rotate the engine. So it is no longer at top dead center. So I'm going to have to find a way to secure that so it doesn't move. Okay, still having some trouble figuring this out. So we connect the compressor to the tester first, and then we move this until this sets 0. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to turn it off first. Okay, now we turn that, put that on. Now we turn this. Till it reads about 0. Okay, then we connect it up, right? And we try to keep the thing from moving at the same time. Alright, we did it. So, here is our result. A good cylinder should read about 20%, and we're reading just a hair under 0. I don't know what that means. And then, oh, one other thing to note, I completely forgot to open the throttle when I did the compression test. So I don't know if these numbers are exactly valid. Oops, I opened it upside down, dang it. Let's try this again. Please don't all fall out. Okay. So my little toolkit came in with these 12-sided Torx sockets. So I'm thinking 10mm will work. Let's see here. Oh, perfect. Excellent. Excellent. Now I have tools to check the torque specs. So I gotta go look up the torque specs. You start at 22 and you work your way up, but you also have to do the sequence, which I forget. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something, 10. So that's where I am right now. But yeah, I'm still kind of dreading having to pull everything out of here to get to the head gasket. So my last hope is that maybe these head bolts have loosened themselves up somehow, but I doubt it.